Good job. Come here. Beep, beep, beep.
All right, quick little video for Rosie's first week. This is Thursday morning. We've finally gotten past the point of her being worried about me. She likes me. When I walk past her kennel, she gets really excited and does all her little squeakies and all of that stuff. So right now, now that we can actually dive into training, the big thing that I'm working on with her is building an engagement. When we're in here, she tends to do a lot of wandering around and sniffing, and I haven't really decided if I find it more of like her just being really outwardly motivated, or her doing a little bit more of like a displacement behavior where she's like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing, so I'm just gonna kind of sniff around. So I want to really limit her access to kind of checking out and blowing me off, and keep her doing stuff with me. So I keep her on a leash, and I want to put value in her checking with me and paying attention to me. So that kind of leads into our markering position. So I want her to understand the association of what a marker intends. A marker is going to be a word that marks a moment in time that I like or dislike a behavior that she shows. And for her, that marker is going to announce the arrival of either a reinforcer or possible pressure or a consequence or something like that. So I just want that marker. It's gonna bridge the gap between desired behavior and delivery of those things. So because she's so sniffing and wandering around, normally how I create that association is I'll just say the word and kind of throw the treat down and let her kind of pick that up. I want that word to mean only food. I don't want her to have to do anything else for that. It's just a conditioned response, a reflexive response to the word. So we have a couple of different markers. They all have meaning as far as what I'm going to be expecting from each behavior. The main one that I'm focusing on right now is the yes marker. Yes means I like what you did. Come take something from me. I'm going to add a little bit of movement. I don't want it to be easily obtainable. I want her to work a little harder to get it, just to increase its value by making it something of a challenge. Yes. And that just kind of builds a little bit of excitement. If it's always easily right there, it's kind of something that's maybe like taken for granted. Like, I can take that. It's not as fun. It's just there. So because she's not super high food drive, I want to utilize that little bit of a playful movement to up its value. That way, if we're in a situation down the road when we start adding in distractions and competing motivators and things like that, the food reward can be a little bit more valuable than just food, which in different contexts can have varying degrees of value. So right now I'm just kind of moving around, and I will randomly just say the word yes and throw food on the ground. She's on the sniff. Yes. So yes is presenting food. And I will also, if she looks up at me, yes, I will pay her that way. So I can kind of reward engagement, reward her for paying attention to me and for following me around. The leash is there to just basically guide her, and stop her from leaving me. She's not super food motivated. She doesn't like my hot dogs. I've tried a couple different treats. Her favorites so far have been these like chicken jerky things, and salmon, like just salmon. I have another dog that's all they can have, so we're not bought salmon fillets. So of course she has to have the salmons. Yes. And another good thing about this is with the yes marker, building engagement, putting value in being with me, but yes, it's making her more comfortable with coming into my space. So I'll need her to be comfortable with that as we start working on behaviors. And I know that this doesn't seem probably that exciting. Yes, but I'm working at her pace. She's not ready, with me at least, to go into like teaching complex behaviors. If I try to do that now, it'll be more flooding and it'll kind of shut her down. So this is just relationship building. I want to work with the dog in front of me. She's not ready for that type of stuff. We'll get there. if I do the groundwork first with her wanting to do stuff with me, it'll make training later easier. Rosie, hi! Just getting her used to following me around. Oh gosh. Responding to leash pressure. Yes. All of that good stuff. Really, there's a hot dog in there. You can spit it out. You ate the hot dog? Oh my gosh, you're getting so brave. No, spit it out. So funny. Do you know how to sit here? Don't seem to know. So again, like I want to get her comfortable with moving to my space and following my hand around. Yes. Very good. So that I can work on those learning behaviors right now. She's kind of confused about what a lure is. So like, yes. 2 days ago I couldn't do that. She would run backwards if I leaned over her at all. So just getting her comfortable with being in my presence and building trust. Yes. Oh, good job. Such a good girl. Yeah. At home, practice can be same thing. Establishing that yes marker. Anytime you go to give her food, it's going to be yes, and then delivery of that food. Not at the same time. Ideally, it would be the food is up. Yes, bring the food down into her space. If you're feeding it to her, then same thing. Yes, grab food, give it to her. If it's a treat, she doesn't have to do anything for it right now. It's just yes, she gets delivery of food. I gotta find your right ones. Yes, and it could be a sequence of them. It doesn't have to be just one. Gotta find her special. There's some hot dogs missing here that she will eat. So it could be yes, 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 yes. Just to really, I want essentially for it to be a reflexive response. She hears yes, she goes, what? Food's happening. That'll help me when we get into the distracting environments where there's things that are kind of shutting her down a little bit. I can use it in a form of counter conditioning. Trigger presents itself, yes, food. So then the trigger can take on trigger equals food. So we can kind of shift things around. Just to build her confidence a little bit. She's been doing really well with place command. Not the actual command, but just kind of, wish I had this in the frame already. Moving around on things that are a little bit weirder. You can do it. Good job. Yay. Good girl. Just kind of adding in something that's a little bit stressful and giving her a win to boost her confidence, and then going back into something a little bit easier. Navigating between those two things is going to help her deal with stress and learn that maybe a little stressor isn't as big of a deal because it can be accomplished. Hey. Yes. Wow, so brave. Yeah. Good job. Hey. Yes. Very good. All right. That can be it. Hey, girl. Where are you? There you are. Hi.